This is Sky Sports, part of the Sky Television Network.
Previously, there was this. From now on, rugby league looks like this. Yes, Super League's upon us, and tonight a new look, boots and all, launches the first ever summer season. We look ahead to the biggest weekend in over 100 years. Mike Stevenson and myself take you away to Gay Paris, where Sheffield Eagles provide the opposition in the first ever Super League match. We'll preview Oldham against champions Wigan and 4 other games in round 1. Elsewhere, the build-up to Super League has come in all shapes and sizes. Wembley-bound Bradford Bulls have been taking the rap. Super League will raise the profile of the players, but how will they cope with their new star status? They're going back to school to learn some new ropes. It's war at Headingley as Leeds get down to some serious relaxation in the build-up to the kick-off. Not a rugby ball in sight, but paintballs galore. And a superstar in the making comes under the spotlight in our new player profile with a difference. The state-of-the-art Charlotte Stadium on the southern outskirts of Paris stages the historic first Super League encounter. Paris Saint-Germain, the unknown quantity, with Patrick Onta in their side, which is teeming with French internationals. And 2 former Eagles come up against their old club. Freddie Bonquet, the winger, and the goal kicker, Laurent Luchesse. Both have starred at Don Valley. The Frenchman aimed to put one over on a few people, particularly in Paris.
I played 2 seasons in England, and I don't saw a big surprise in a league. So I can believe we can do a surprise. If we win, I think it's no surprise because we work hard and we have a good team. That is a result for the win. But I don't want to dream before the start of the season. I want to be confident before.
I think for us, the success would be to have a good work. It's necessary for the French team, Paris Saint-Germain, and the French Federation, the French Rugby League, to show that we're able to work in the good conditions and to be better and better along the competition. After the results of the games are perhaps not the most important, the work is more important.
One man who will be working is Patrick Onta. His skillful play will be a key factor in Paris' success. A little dummy, speed off the mark, will give Sheffield plenty to think about on Friday. His kicking game is vital. He must keep turning the Big Eagles pack around all night. Onta has a creative brain and uses the short side well. His short passing game is excellent and will prove more than just a handful for the Eagles.
The Eagles won 9 in a row at the end of last season, just 1 match away from a new club record, before Wigan toppled them. No other club has embraced the French connection more than Sheffield, who have Jean-Marc Garcia in their side. Garcia is set for a big game, as is the Australian try-scoring forward Paul Carr. And watch out too for under-21 international Ryan Sheridan. He is a man who is ready to take the Super League by storm.
Big kick-off, of course, in Paris, and it looks like being a full house. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of colour, a lot of music, a lot of extravaganza. From our point of view, of course, we're going to enjoy the occasion, or certainly our supporters are. From a team point of view, we're focusing on a team performance and coming away with a victory.
Oh, it's the start of a new era, Super League and that, and we're looking at, you know, this is the way to kick-start a season, you know, at Paris, if we can get a win there.
We're all excited. Obviously, it's a new era with the Super League, but it's a new stadium we've not visited before. You're travelling further than we usually would, and all the boys are ready for it.
I think any players who's played in France, I've played in France before, and you get a hard game in France wherever you're playing, and we're all expecting a very hard game. It'll be a very tough side to beat.
Sheffield's robust and speedy pack is one of the reasons why the Eagles will be a major force in Super League, especially the running from Johnny Lawless. This quick-thinking hooker is quick to spot when a defence is slow to get back. And with speed like this, it's no surprise the French side have singled him out as the danger man. Such creative play has gained valuable metres that more often than not allows Sheffield the chance to launch their attack and score that vital try. The Eagles have a well-balanced back three who work hard in prizing openings from well-timed passes and precision running on the short blind side. Once in the clear, they have the speed to make any defence struggle to shut them down.
Seize the day.
Oldham boast a better record than most against the champions and were the last team to beat them in the championship. Coach Andy Goodway is a former Wigan forward himself. He knows the key to victory is a platform built up front. There's quite a Wigan connection at Oldham. Paul Aitchison arrived from Central Park last season, and they have the characters too. And Topping deserves this. Paul Topping has tried as hard as anyone. All the Oldham players were on trial last season for their Super League places. Andy Goodway gave every player on his books their chance. One or two new names made their mark as well. But this now is the big time. Substitute. Chris McKinney is in on his debut.
I think Wigan's always a big game for anyone. Always look forward to big games like that. And I think the boys lifted themselves to play. They are world champs. And
it will be the most important game of the season, I think. We've got to get off to a good start. And to beat Wigan at home would be what I would consider a really good start.
We've got to take it with, each game as it comes. But I think the lads are ready to go. I mean, we beat them here last year, so we know we can do it.
The intensity of our training schedule has been picked up quite high, and the boys are training really hard for the first Super League game and hopefully our first win.
We're going against them. We've been concentrating on defence as number one priority, because they don't score. They can't win. So we've been concentrating a lot on defence, and if we keep them out, attack should come, and hopefully we'll do them again.
All the Super League teams know the capabilities of halfbacks Maloney and Crompton. They're hard men to shut down. Both have a superb passing game and possess the ability to vary the attack with a tactical kick. When both are on song, Oldham buzz. Their creativity is endless, especially when they work the delayed inside switch of play.
Simon Horton blossomed in the centenary season as Wigan again swept all before them, and the established names are still there. Oh, crack bang wallop! It's Twigamala! Martin Hall enhanced his reputation as one of Wigan's most improved players, and he'll be in a formidable front row again. Behind the pack, there's all the speed and guile of Robinson. Robinson has to pick up the ball and then head for the line. Robinson's in fine form, a hat-trick at Salford in a warm-up game last week, but the youngsters are also coming through. And Smythe replies for Wigan. And Wigan remain the team to beat. They approach Boundary Park with caution.
they're always a very hard side to play at Oldham. But this year we play on a soccer pitch, which is quite open and wide, so that should be in our favour, if anything.
I think the lads are just really pleased to get back out into the season and get fired into the next team that's in the way, so really get stuck in, hopefully come away with a win.
Players really want to explode into this new competition. We want to play consistently, we want to play to entertain, but do it in a manner that'll hopefully make us win week in and week out.
We want to go out there and start off the new Super League campaign with a win. Oldham did beat us in the league at Oldham, and that put us under some pressure in the league at that point then, and we don't want to start off with a loss and then have to play catch-up rugby to all the other teams. So we'll be going there for a win, hopefully.
We want to start well, and it'll be our major game. Everybody's focused for it.
Wigan's attacking prowess is legendary, but their kick and chase game is a vital area to their success. Notice how Shaun Edwards comes from the midfield to ensure there's no way out for the winger. And when you've got big block-busting talent like Trigger-Marler, it's little wonder Edwards often uses the chip over. Inga will once again prove a handful. And so will this guy, Jason Robinson. Just one of many Wigan players eager to launch the attack from deep within their own half. With speed and determined running like this, it's little wonder Wigan start favourites once again.
Seize the day.
Halifax have a new nickname, the Blue Sox, and the side, which finished third last time, is ready to mount a serious bid. They'll be glad John Schuster is back to full fitness, the points machine is back and raring to go. But the Broncos have eyes on a top four spot themselves this season, and their new home at the Valley is the perfect base. Expect skipper Terry Mattison to lead from the front. He's had glory in Brisbane and wants more of the same here. Leeds are unbeaten at Headingley against Warrington in their last 6 meetings, and Dean Bell's men are 2-1 second favourites for the Super League title. Gary Schofield has gone and Tony Kemp has a broken arm, so the standoff role poses a problem in the first round. Warrington have their new coaching team, Alex Murphy and John Dorahy directing operations. And in Iestyn Harris, they have the 1995 International Player of the Year, a man who could set the Super League alight. Robbie Paul will become one of the youngest Wembley skippers on record next month, but he has Super League points on his mind just now. Coach Brian Smith is working miracles again after his massive clear-out of players. Castleford have a great record against the Bulls at Odsal and haven't been beaten there for 2 years. They're boosted by Frano Botika's comeback. The former Wigan ace will kick-start the Tigers' challenge. Troubled Workington finished last time at the foot of the table, and they're favourites for the big drop. All change at Derwent Park. Kurt Sorensen has gone, but in Roland Phillips, Town have a captain filled with enthusiasm. He'll need all the help he can muster to stop Saints. The Challenge Cup finalists are riding high on confidence, and even though Alan Hunt is out injured, skipper Bobby Goulding is expecting great things from his men.
Seize the day.
One of League's worst-kept secrets finally surfaced with the news that Clive Griffiths was the coach of the newly formed South Wales team. And rumours are bubbling up from the valleys that Kevin Ellis and Jonathan Griffiths have been seen helping out at the new side at training. They say helping because both players switched codes recently, and surely they wouldn't dream of turning back from Union again to Rugby League, or would they? And nice to see Bradford Bulls coach Brian Smith sporting a smile. It was only 4 months ago that many Bradford fans wanted him sacked after losing to an 11-man Saints side. Winners are grinners now. Another with a smile on his face is Joe Lydon, who's just been appointed Wigan's football manager. And the word from Central Park is that Shaun Edwards is set to become assistant coach to Graham West. They may not be splashing out big money for big players, but they know the future's safe with having these two guys on board.
Coming next, those Bulls go rapping. Bradford are ready for Super League, and they've launched a bid to top the recording charts as well. And keep watching closely, because you could win a fabulous boots and all prize. This season, every week, we'll reveal more and more of one of Super League's superstars. Guess the face, and you could be on a winner.
Terrorvision, the biggest rock band to come out of Bradford. Their latest single, Perseverance, made the top 10, but their title of Bradford's best is under threat.
Down in the dirt, and mud and blood and sweat. Can't breathe, can't stand, but it ain't over yet. Condition to be hard against the pain. We find bodies.
The big noise in the city now is the Bradford Bulls, who've gone into the recording studio to make Run with the Bulls. Rapping Robbie Paul and guitar ace Gary Christie have teamed up with professional singer Anita Madigan to write the song, with more Bulls in the chorus.
We run with the Bulls, we're all right.
To give us some real insight into how they feel on the pitch. And Robbie wrote out a load of lyrics of how they feel on the pitch, and then Anita sort of took a lot of the words and put them into the tune. So we had a good feel of what they wanted.
Every time, take you to the line. You can't stop a bull when he's made up his mind. We're all right, we're all right. Go, 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 go.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be big around this area. The radio station is going to get behind it because it's a really good song. It's not the usual, we're the Bulls, we're the Bulls. You know, it's got a good hook, it's got a rap in it, it's got a big KLF type chorus. And as for vocalists, I think they make a really good sort of Bee Gees, ABBA type band, you know.
Sophisticated, pattern staining, mentally blind, clairbraining, understanding, producing. See, this is what we're choosing, simple line. Complicated by losing. You hear my? You hear my? If you hear the war cry, you know where you are. You're watching us do battle. A daily dosage of pain, hurting a count of crazy fools because I love this game. We run with the Bulls, we're all right. We run with the Bulls, we're all right. We run with the Bulls, we're all right.
I think all the lads who have contributed to the song are really proud of it. It's not the normal song that a rugby team would come out with, so I'm really happy.
We didn't want a song that, you know, was really corny and everything, so the lyrics in the song are addressing what professional rugby league players are going through.
Anita, you're a professional musician. What's it like working with professional rugby players?
Well, I can honestly say it's an experience not to be missed.
So is there any truth in the rumour that, in fact, you are splitting up?
Well, I think Robbie's defecting, aren't you?
Yes, you know, I'm
So
fed
the
up.
four of us are going to carry
Like
on.
I said, I'm fed up with a bit of the guys' attitudes, and you know, the ego's just getting blown way out of proportion.
Look, I'm not happy about this at all. It's in my ego, it's because Robbie gets paid too much, and that's the reason I'm leaving, I'll tell you now.
Look what...
You
see what we have to put up with? No,
can you see what we have to put up with?
Every day we have to put up with this fella.
I'm out.
Seize the day.
Messrs Hemming, Stevenson, Arthur and Mann, you have been warned. The players are learning how to deal with the television interviewer.
Paul, would you like to play rugby union as well as rugby league, obviously in the off-season of the rugby league season?
I think it'd be preferable to just play one or the other in view of the fitness demands of the game.
Courses called Handling the Media have been organised by the Rugby League Professional Players Association, and they're designed to add communication skills to the off-the-pitch repertoire of today's modern-day player.
I think it's essential the players start realising that they, with the new Super League, they become high-profile figures, and a bit of help and advice in certain areas of how to communicate helps them on the field, off the field, helps Rugby League promote itself if the players can talk about it better, and also helps the spectators looking on Sky that they have a view from an actual player.
With the advent of Super League, many more professionals are now full-time, and they have the opportunity to attend this type of course. They learn about how to deal with people like myself, the do's and don'ts when confronted with pen, microphone or camera.
It's all about taking the game forward, and I think that the way to do that, the best ambassadors of the games are actually the players themselves. And this is an opportunity for every player to develop those presentation skills so they can go on television and sell the game.
Do you feel as though you've noted things that you were doing wrong?
Yeah, I have noted things that we're doing wrong, like when we was looking at a video of ourselves, I weren't smiling as much, so I'll have to keep smiling now. So, yeah, it was good, though, to look at yourself and see what you was doing wrong.
There might be aspects of rugby league that's played in the heavy conditions during that period. Well, certainly I suppose it is a culture change, and
we've learned a few things about the psychology of the reporter as well, so we're trying to prejudge the the next question. No, it's very good. It's been good for confidence. It's something that's been needed for a long while, certainly in rugby league, and we're very happy to be going through with it.
This is the second time you've been, I believe, so do you feel you've improved since the first occasion?
Definitely. I've watched a video on the first attempt, and now this is the second time I've come on the course. I've definitely improved, and hopefully I'll look a lot better.
All of them have said it's been beneficial to them. We're again trying to help them with those communication skills, and some it has helped actually if they're a captain of the team or whatever. It helps them communicate with their players in the dressing room. So it goes right from the dressing room to the media and in front of Sky Television.
no one, for example, is going to expect Port Vale to become the new Aston Villa. They simply cannot justify the amounts of funds that Aston Villa can raise. Now, we don't want Port Vale to go out of existence, but we don't want to peg back Aston Villa to compete with Port Vale. It's a nonsense situation. At the end of the day, sport is a business and has to be treated as such.
But what can we teach you about doing interviews? Surely nothing.
Well, you certainly always learn, and I've learnt things today, certainly about the way questions are guided at players, and you have to, guard your response to them. Obviously, there are a lot of positive interviews that will come our way. There may be one or two negative ones as well somewhere in the future, so it's all about preparation.
So what do you think about me? Do you think I'm doing my job all right?
Extremely well. I finished it by getting the name wrong then. Do you want to cut on that?
No. Seize the day.
London Broncos showed in their game against Wigan last season that they can pull the big crowds. Now they're hoping to do that at their superb new home, Charlton's Valley Stadium, which will host the capital's first Super League game against Paris Saint-Germain next Thursday night. Before then, the Broncos have a tough opening game at Halifax this weekend, and at their pre-season launch, the Londoners spelt out their approach to the campaign.
We're not coming here to be mediocre. I mean, you wouldn't come 12,000 miles for mediocrity. You come 12,000 miles for excellence, and that's what we're chasing. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, unfortunately, but with a bit of luck, and that's what you need in all things, is a little bit of luck. If we get a little bit of luck, I think we're going to be up there, if not fourth, around about that spot.
The Broncos have been pulling out the PR stops this week with a dinner attended by Sports Council Chairman Rodney Walker and Charlton Chairman Martin Simons. Among the new recruits at the Broncos, the former Student Rugby League organiser Bev Risman, who's joined the club as a development officer.
There's a big gap between 11 and 12-year-olds playing junior rugby league and an 18, 19 and even 25-year-old becoming a star with the London Broncos. But what we've got to do is to try and bring those two things together.
And 24-year-old Londoner Junior Paul has made that transition from playing as an amateur with Bexley Heath to playing for the Broncos at Halifax on Saturday.
I'm actually working in schools at the minute, trying to bring youngsters, more youngsters in the game, and hopefully I'll be the start of what London and the surrounding areas have to offer.
But for now, the London Broncos will be looking to the experienced Australians like skipper Terry Maddison and forward Gavin Allen to help them make a successful start to the Super League campaign.
I've always wanted to come to England and enjoy the way they play the game over here, nice and free-flowing. So, and also with the what's going on over there at the moment, I didn't want to be involved in that either. So, as it turns out, I've made a good decision.
We've got a pretty strong squad of 25 players there now, and I'm confident that we will go well this year. So, I think it's very important to start winning and start winning early.
Marketing is a crucial part of the Broncos' strategy. They'll distribute 5,000 Easter eggs at next Thursday's home game against Paris. But it's the players who hold the key to their future.
We are really pioneering here. I know rugby league has been in and out of London for many, many years. I think since the 1940s odd. We're doing it as good as we can this time, as professionally as we can. We do realise we're pioneering. The players do know they have to do certain things, talk to the media, do a bit of promotional work, and still be focused to play the game. Because at the end of the day, it's winning that will get the fans here, nothing less.
Now then, what's in a Super League name? We have the Bulls, the Bears and the Tigers. Now enter the Blue Sox. Nicknames are in this summer and Halifax have chosen theirs. All will be revealed next, and here's clue 2 in our Guess the Face competition.
The FA Cup semi-final, one step away from English football's ultimate prize. Aston Villa, League Cup winners, versus Liverpool, who are peaking now.
Fabulous goal!
There's certainly no favourite here.
Just on a neutral ground, so it's anyone's game, really.
The winner will meet either Chelsea or Manchester United, and we'll bring you highlights of that semi-final after our live match. Ford Escort Cup special, Sunday at 3:30, live on Sky Sports.
After rumour, counter-rumour and great agonising at Thrum Hall, Halifax this week announced their new name for Super League.
Halifax Rugby League Club have decided to take the name of the Blue Sox as their formal nickname, and will be making the appropriate applications to the Rugby League to have that recognised.
Add to that the unveiling of a £5 million redevelopment plan for the ground, and you get the picture that times they are a-changing in West Yorkshire.
What we understood more than anything is that is why we were actually doing it. We were doing it for the right reasons, that is to open up new marketing opportunities, not just reinforce existing ones. So some people would see it's a brave step, but actually it's quite a logical step.
It's easy to knock something, and probably it wouldn't have mattered what name we come up with. There was always going to be some knockers because, you know, I mean, Halifax is a very traditional club and our supporters are absolutely fantastic. I can understand that, you know, some of them are hurt whether we've taken any nickname, but it's just the way the game's gone. We've got to move forward. Halifax is a forward, go-ahead club, and to do that we've had to come up with something. We've come up with the Blue Sox, and that's us, it's Halifax Blue Sox.
With Bears, Cougars, Eagles and so on, nicknames are all the rage in England already. It's a marketing ploy as much as an identity, and it's used extensively in Australian Rugby League and throughout American sport too.
People are assuming that it's got American connotations just because Sox is spelt with an X. Actually, the truth why we chose to use Sox with an X is because the most prominent letter in the word Halifax is the X at the end of Halifax. So that opens up further opportunities to integrate the two X's together in some of our merchandises. The reason we're called the Halifax Blue Sox is because we're named after our town, and we're named after our colours, and we're named after our kit, which is something that most of the clubs can't claim to be.
I'm sure that our supporters, you know, the ones that don't like the name, a few weeks down the track, will begin to like it because it is a bit catchy and it does, you know, it does sort of grab you after a little while. And I think once they see all the players wearing the merchandise around, you know, which they will do, then some of the young people get it's going to be something thrilling. I think that you know, we can identify ourselves, that everybody in the town can look and wear the same things.
With full-time playing staff at Thrum Hall, they will be called upon to go out and act as club salesmen, promoting the new image.
We've been told it's part of our job. We've got to get around to the schools and put the Halifax Blue Sox name forward for the club, so we'll do that as well as we can.
With the new marketing strategy and the move to summertime, Halifax are hopeful that they will be able to generate more money in order to fund their ambitious development plans. How confident are you that you'll get the funding for this ambitious project?
Oh, well, that's the $55 million question. As we've heard before, lottery funding isn't easy to tap into, but we have worked extensively on ensuring that our bid meets the criteria, and we're also working hard at making sure that our own internal budgets means that we are able or in a position to take the Super League monies and apply them to the purposes that they're designed.
So even if the lottery cash doesn't come off, there will be some sort of redevelopment going on at Thrumhall?
That's certainly our intention. That's certainly our intention.
But image changes and ground improvements aside, it's an inescapable fact that it's the on-the-field activities that will be crucial for the future of the Halifax Blue Sox.
Whether we're called Blue Sox, we're called Halifax, we're called anything. If we give the goods out in the paddock, which we will at Halifax, we become one of the top teams in Europe, then the world, whatever it may be, we're going to get supporters, and that's what we want. We want our supporters to follow us now. We want to gain new supporters with the logo of the Blue Sox. We want to gain new supporters by being one of the top clubs in the league. And then it's just a snowballing effect where sooner or later we have to get up past beyond the 10,000 mark, and we want to do that in the first year if possible.
Seize the day.
With victory in 2 of the last 3 varsity matches, Cambridge were firm favourites for this year's game, staged at the London Welsh ground close to Kew Gardens. A.D. Spencer was back again for the Light Blues. Spencer was banned from rugby union for 9 months for his association with the professional game in London. When the ban was lifted, he was kept on the bench for the union varsity game last year, but he was to be fully involved in the league showdown.
So much. There's no more humour. There's no more fun. We come here to do a job today. We are professionals.
Underdogs Oxford, though, were determined to end their poor run. They'd even sought advice from the Rugby League's seat of learning in Wigan.
We had a basic skills session. Ray Unsworth from Wigan and myself came down and did kind of a clinic, really, mainly on defence, and we were very, very impressed, mainly with the enthusiasm, but also they grasped so easy what we tried to put across to them. And if anything, hopefully it'll be beneficial, but we just feel that the enthusiasm's there and everything's set for a really good game.
And Oxford certainly seemed to be inspired by the presence of Joe Lydon among the crowd, as they started strongly, knocking Cambridge out of their confident early stride in the opening 20 minutes. And the Dark Blues could have had the first try of the game, as fullback Nick Viney burst through, only to be denied by a fine tackle from Cambridge's Andy Cheetham, with John Hull unable to take the pass. Then A.D. Spencer went to work for the Light Blues. This was the first of his 3 tries, but at half-time, Cambridge only led 16-2. The floodgates opened early in the second half. Great handling gave Cambridge fullback Steve Aldridge a try. The Light Blues slap happy, but Joe Lydon wasn't so impressed with the Oxford defence. And it was breached 4 more times as Cambridge roared into a 38-2 lead after an hour. Centre Ian Higgins scoring this great try. But Oxford salvaged some pride with a rousing final 20 minutes in which they scored 3 tries, this one from the hard-working Stuart Ferguson, for a final score of Cambridge 42, Oxford 18. Sports Minister Ian Sproat presented the Varsity Bowl to Cambridge, whose trophy handling almost let them down.
We're very lucky to have people like AD come in year in, year out. I mean, we can't rely on that forever, so we're lucky this year we've got a lot of continuity. All our backs this year will be here next year. A lot of the lads in the forwards are staying on. We've got a lot of talent coming through, so that's the main thing, get the continuity year in, year out.
Certainly in the last 20 minutes, I want to congratulate our team. We really stuck in there, got a couple more tries in, and in the end, it wasn't too bad a result.
But with 3 wins in the last 4 varsity matches, the Cambridge domination continues.
Seize the day.
After battling against blood disorders and failing health, 25-year-old former St Helens and Wigan star Gus O'Donnell has been forced to quit the game. 3 months ago, his world turned upside down when he was diagnosed as having kidney failure.
Well, they just said my kidneys, both kidneys had packed in and there was only 2% working. If I did go home and carry on the same duties as what I was doing in training and playing and that, they said I could have collapsed in the street and had no chance of getting them fixed.
A kidney transplant will hopefully enable Gus to lead a normal life sometime in the future. But with a long wait before that will be possible, his day is now governed by his need to clean out his body.
Well, I dialyse 4 times a day. That is, I clean the inside of me out, to clean my blood and the toxins and that, and then I put a new liquid back into me, and it stays, you know, it keeps you clean for 4 hours. And like I do that 4 times a day, in the morning, dinner, tea, and then before I go to bed.
A testimonial committee has been set up for Gus. Its first target is to raise £8,500 for a machine which works overnight. It will leave Gus free to pursue his new aims during the day.
Hopefully I'm going to carry on at college and get a sports diploma behind me so I can work in gyms and health centres and that, and carry on in sports really, because that's my life.
I saw him probably 2 months after he'd been informed about his situation, and of course, obviously he's had time to think about it and time to come to terms with it. I don't think that I could have done what he's done, knowing what he's got at so young an age.
6 years at Wigan, 3 years at Saints, an under-21 international and several medals to boot. Gus can reflect on a highly successful career at the very highest level. He is a positive, determined and realistic young man who is confident of returning to a happy and healthy life in the future. His message is indicative of that positive outlook, and he is quite simply a lesson to us all.
Just enjoy life while you're at the top. You know, you're not at the top of the ladder for a long time. Enjoy it while you can, but always have a steady-headed mind and, you know, think of the future.
And you are now 3-4 months down the road. Are you much more positive now?
Yeah, I look at each day as it comes now and enjoy it. That's all you can say really, is don't let anything get you down and enjoy it and look to the future.
The testimonial committee have already started raising funds. There are plans for collections, social events and even talk of a St Helens versus Wigan testimonial match. The address for donations and information is the Gus O'Donnell Testimonial Fund, 2 Thistledown Close, Springfield, Wigan.
Coming up, we turn the spotlight on Sheffield Eagles' Matt Crowther. The 21-year-old got more than he bargained for when he found himself in the hot seat for the first of our special player profiles. And we'll meet him after these.
Well, basically I come from a rugby league area to start with. You know, all my family really enjoy the game. I've had a few uncles play the game before me, so they've sort of pushed me into it. But really how I got started was I actually played in a rugby union game at school when I was about 12 years old. And I scored 2 tries, so I really enjoyed it. And from then on I went up to the local club at Kippox. And since then I've just been totally rugby league. Well, as a kid I used to be really mad on football before I started playing rugby league. Really, I'm a mad Manchester United fan, which a lot of people won't like. But I think Brian Robson. I used to really, I used to want to be on the rugby league front. I used to love watching Wally Lewis. I think he had everything. Skill, pace, strength. He was a really good player at that level. He did everything. He played with Australia. And I used to really, like watching his videos. Well, I think it was more of a surprise present really than the best. I think I'd asked for a computer one year or a bike or whatever, and I'd come downstairs, opened all my presents, and quite pleased with them. And I think then my dad just said to me, "Go put kettle on," and I walked into the kitchen and there were a big full-size snooker table set up. So that was really shocked me, but that was very pleasing. I don't mind a surprise. Well, what time we do get, I like to go have a game of the golf with some of the lads. We all enjoy that. That's if the weather's good enough. Also, I just like, basically socialising. I go and watch my old club Kippax play, and Loch Lane as well, amateur side in Castleford. I enjoy watching them because I've got a few friends that play with them. That's basically it. Apart from my mother, yeah. I think it was actually in the cloakroom. I was probably 7 years old, something like that, at the infant school, under a pile of coats, I think.
Seize the day.
Go ahead, make my day.
Maybe not quite the good, the bad, or the ugly, but there were a few Butch Cassidys and maybe the odd Sundance Kid lurking in the snow as Leeds Rugby League side took time to get away from Super League preparation and take in a jovial morning's target practice at the Yorkshire Paintball Park. And it certainly seemed to prove a worthwhile experience for all of those involved.
This is all part of Super League, getting together and getting team spirit going and all gelling together as a team. It'll all do well for the Super League.
You've really got to try and occupy the time wisely, and sometimes, giving the guys a bit of a rest or doing something different, I think is of more benefit really than making them run around a field.
But look out, roaming around in the woods was the local wild herb, known to the locals as the Predator. Out to seek and destroy the Leeds players as they skulked around the undergrowth. Some players were wary of his presence, others didn't seem that bothered.
I'm not scared of you.
So, certainly an unusual morning's work for the Leeds boys, somewhat different from our sweating it out in the gym, or those many miles run around the Headingley pitch, a worthwhile exercise, seemingly enjoyed by all.
You pour a knife, I pour a gun. How do you feel now? Better or worse?
Like I was back in Nam.
Birmingham.
Yeah, it was a lot of good fun, and it was a little bit of a workout actually. Once those paintballs were coming at you, you had to work a bit to try and avoid them.
Seize the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the new look for referees. This is what the well-dressed official will be wearing, a natty range for the refs who've earned their stripes, with a subtle hint of charcoal, this season's #1 choice.
A bit racy, isn't it?
Might make it go a bit faster, I don't know.
Go faster stripes.
Go faster stripes, we'll get on the catwalk with these, I think.
Well, it wasn't quite the Paris catwalk as the new look was unveiled, along with a £100,000 3-year sponsorship deal with CIS to support the game's officials. It's a big boost for them on the eve of what promises to be a tough campaign.
There's been a significant number of rule changes and interpretation changes. We're as administrators, confident
they'll be for the advantage of the game, but also relieving a little bit of pressure off the referees, which I think over the last few years, because of the speed of the game, has increased dramatically on them.
I think for the first month it'll be very difficult adapting to the new rules, but once we've got into the swing, I think it'll come naturally and it'll make the game faster, with the ball being in play a lot more and more exciting for the paying spectators.
Are you a bit nervous?
Very nervous.
The Mizuno and CIS deals come at a time when the Rugby League is launching a recruiting drive for new officials.
It's a combination of a lot of things why people don't take up refereeing. It could well be that there is a cost factor for them to start. Well, we've eliminated that cost factor now. Also the fact that we've got to make it attractive for people to get involved in it. We're just about to launch our recruitment campaign based on take up the challenge, take up the whistle, and when people see that these guys are being looked after, perhaps they'll get involved themselves.
Meantime, the game's troubleshooters are in town and ready for action.
Stand by for the last clues in our Guess the Face competition now. And to be really charitable, we'll remove 2 pieces of our jigsaw this time. If you can name the Super League superstar, here's the prize. No, not the girls, Steve-O, but a brand new Super League shirt of the team of your choice with the squad number you want. And the address for your entries and also your comments about the new Boots and All format or any other Super League topic. It's Boots and All, Sky Sports, Grant Way, Isleworth, Middlesex, TW7 5QQ. Now, don't forget to get along to the early rounds of the Super League, and if you can't, join us for the best seat in the house. Tomorrow we blast off in Paris as the new boys take on the Sheffield Eagles. Join us from the French capital at 7. We're live on Saturday night too throughout the summer, and we kick off the new slot with Oldham Bears against Wigan from Boundary Park. We're live from 5:30. And we'll have highlights from Leeds' opening game against Warrington at Headingley. Note, we're over on Sky Sports 2 at 9:30 on Sunday night. There's no Boots and All next Thursday. Instead, we've a live game for you. London take on Paris in their opening fixture at the Valley. We look forward to seeing you there, and we'll have all the action here on Sky Sports from 7. The match starts at 7:30. On Good Friday, it's the traditional Saints-Wigan derby, the ultimate Super League battle. The whole game live and exclusive on Sky Sports from a packed Knowsley Road from 3 o'clock. The game there starts at 3:30. And on the Tuesday after Easter, more live Super League action for you as the Blue Sox aim to maul those Tigers. Halifax against Castleford from Thrumhall at 7. And Boots and All will be back 2 weeks tonight when we'll review the opening shots in the Super League wars. Well, that's all for this week. See you in Paris tomorrow for the start of quite a weekend as the big league becomes the Super League and makes the big switch to the summertime.